I'm Jay.
And I'm Matt.
And this is
The Yankee.
And the Hillbilly. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about just different topics today. I'd like to talk about the topic, and I don't know if this is a hillbilly thing or if this is just a universal all over the world thing, or people who live in countries who have riding lawnmowers. But what I want to know is it a hillbilly thing to leave your broken down lawnmower in the middle of the lawn when it breaks down?
Mid-cut?
Mid-cut. I mean, you can drive by and you can look at the different levels of grass. You can see where the grass had been cut at one point, and then it's at a certain height and it stops, and then the rest of the grass is taller. And then you know that there's an amount of time that has passed because the grass has grown up, but in different. You have the grass that was not cut, and it just seems to start enveloping and taking over the broken lawnmower. I wanted to know, is that just a hillbilly thing or is that a Yankee thing?
I personally want to say it's a hillbilly thing.
I will agree with your statement, because I believe that it is a hillbilly thing also. Me and my family were at the coast, and we were traveling from one beach to the other, and as we were going down the interstate, you know, I'm looking out the window, I'm looking at these yards, and all of a sudden I just see an old snapper riding lawnmower, and it's in the middle of this guy's front yard, and it's just totally abandoned. Now, there's cars in the driveway. I mean, you could tell that somebody's living at the house. It's not like they abandoned the whole house. They abandoned the lawnmower.
Now, as a Yankee, and having owned an old snapper, I would know that every time that snapper did break down, and it did break down a lot, I would go ahead and just push it to my garage.
Which would be the logical thing to do. You would think that if your lawnmower did break down, you would. I mean, it can't be that heavy.
No, I mean, it does have wheels.
Okay, and so just so that for other hillbillies out there, so that you'll understand this, people up north do have lawns.
We do.
They don't all live in skyscrapers. It is a misconception that people who are from the north all live in New York City. That is totally untrue.
And actually, most of my friends from New York live in a place very similar to where I live in North Carolina.
Grass, trees, all the things that you would find as in the country, they have also in the north. But according to your statement, they don't leave their broken lawnmowers in the middle of the yard. So let's see if we can logically come up with a reason why one would do this other than just being plain lazy.
The NASCAR race is on?
Now that in the South, that would definitely be a valid statement, that the NASCAR race is on. We got to drop everything we're doing. Maybe they started cutting the grass right at the beginning of NASCAR season, and then as soon as Ellie Mae came to the door and said, "The race is on!" he just jumps off the lawnmower. Or maybe it's not broke down. Maybe it just ran out of gas. But
you know what it could be, and would stop me from cutting my grass? Too hot. Some days it's just too hot to mow the grass.
Yeah, it is too hot. But why? I mean, just why leave it there? And you would think, you know, I saw this and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's one occurrence. I've seen it several times. I have seen a Sears Craftsman broken down in the yard. And you would think that a riding lawnmower would be the pinnacle of what would be stopped in the middle of the yard. No, I've seen push mowers. Now, you have got to be one lazy, for lack of a better term, son of a what, to just leave a push mower in the middle of a yard.
I've actually seen a yard that had 2 riding lawnmowers abandoned. Like, I don't know, maybe they just had like titanium grass and the mowers just broke. But
it's one of these things that I think that deserves more research. I think that we actually probably need to start doing some interviews. So if you're up for it and you're not afraid, we can get some bulletproof vests. We might go and find some of these, at least document it on video.
that'd be a good idea.
And then maybe if the inhabitants are willing, we can ask them some questions.
If you know where we could find an abandoned lawnmower in a yard, feel free to leave a note in our comment section, and we'll go check it out.
All right.
For the Yankee,
And the Hillbilly,
have a good day.
thanks for watching. All right, it's rolling.
All right, I think for our opening we need something with banjos.
We need to switch chairs. This guy's taller. Let's see if this is better. Is this better? Now you're taller.
Yeah, it's the chair.
Does that help?
Yeah.
And I'll just have to use forced perspective and sit like this. Is this better?